Here at Foli Greenhouses with Emily. Emily, this place is so spectacular. I know viewers are going to want to know the story. Tell me how you developed Foli and how it came to be.
Yeah, I had a job a long time ago at a flower shop, and they had a small plant area, and it was kind of like what started my love for plants. And I became pretty good at taking care of plants in my house without much effort. So the idea kind of came about like looking, in my living room and seeing all these plants and realizing how many people come in and are like, wow, you have a good green thumb. And just being like, it shouldn't be that complicated. So yeah, I just kind of spiraled, figured out how to source like really strong plants, try to find, well-made stylish pots, because that's like a big part of the equation.
Totally.
And then figure out how to ship them in a box across Canada.
So that's what's different. That's kind of what sets you apart from other kind of retail stores, other greenhouses, other florists, as well as other kind of box stores that sell plants, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So most places you can't, go online for like your hardware store and know that they're going to have a large ZZ or like they don't have live inventory. So we have that. So you can go on our site, you see what we have, you can order it right through the site, and we ship, like I said, all across Canada. So it is e-commerce, but it does feel very personal.
Yeah.
We have a small team. We're really interactive with like our, audience and our customers, and even if you didn't buy a plant through us but you have plant questions,
you have plant issues.
Yeah.
Why is my plant turning yellow? My plant is dying, or whatever it is. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So really excellent customer care.
Yes, we really focus on like making sure that you have a positive experience with plants at your own home, and a lot of things that people struggle with, like tons of people do. So it's normally like figuring out pretty quickly like what's the issue and helping people kind of remedy and move on, because plants are really resilient. Like think of them in the wild. They go through a lot of different, climate and different changes that they normally can bounce back from. So I am always hopeful we can kind of like.
So you saying that actually makes me feel a little bit guilty, because I'm like, oh, I thought they were resilient, so what I've done is really killed them. Not just kind of killed them, but like really killed them. Like I can't keep an orchid alive to save my life, but a spider plant or like something viney, I'm like, oh, good to go. You don't need to water that thing for a month.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we focus on. Like we have so many new plant parents that are being shipped a plant or they're gifted something.
Yeah.
So a lot of our plants are like plants of steel. They're like drought tolerant.
Plants of steel.
Yeah,
I love that.
They're called plants of steel. And they're drought tolerant, meaning like you can leave it and forget about it for a while, as opposed to having something that like constantly needs to be watered or like fertilized or like over touched.
Yeah.
We really kind of go for the ones that are like set it and leave it.
Yeah.
I have to kind of coach people away from wanting to touch their plants so much, because people just want that like engagement with it, similar to gardening, whereas indoor plants, like they want a sunny spot and watering evenly, and that's kind of it.
And that's it. Okay, well, coming up, we're going to be talking about packing the plants, how they do it at the facility, and how it gets home to you. So lots more coming up on Morning Live. Okay, Emily, we're going to take the viewers through the packing process. So once we go on your website, we go into foli.ca, we scroll through all the beautiful plants, we find the plants that we want, we pick the pots that we want them to go in, you get the order, then what?
Yeah, then the magic happens.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to pretend you ordered like our bestseller, which is a medium potted ZZ.
Why is it a bestseller?
It's so easy, and it
always
why? Looks beautiful. It's like got really nice sturdy foliage. It has a rhizome, which is like a root bulb, so it holds its water like in a reservoir and pulls from it, so it's like very drought tolerant. They're slowish growers, so they don't like need to be repotted right away.
Right, they don't take over your living room in a matter of minutes.
They're just like the most solid plant. I don't know.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah,
they're cool.
So we're gonna pretend you ordered this, and just like for plant care, this is all like all the roots and stuff that's typical of the plant, which we would explain in our care card. So we use a gauze that we just kind of wrap around. It's all recyclable, just to get the plant kind of nice and tidy before we're gonna ship it, and so that the soil doesn't move in transport.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Like I was like, there's a lot of dirt in there, and if you see those videos of the UPS guys like hurling your stuff at your front door, you're thinking, there's a plant in there.
Be really nice to your UPS guys,
right?
We're so nice to them. So we're like, Take care of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of brace all the soil. This typically does like the trick with how we've got it.
Right.
We put it into our ceramic or decorative pot, and we do drop-ins like this just so that it's easy to water. So when you get this home, you can take the grower's pot to your sink, water it, and let the water drain before putting it back in your decorative pot.
Yep.
If you were to plant directly in it, it's just tricky for drainage.
Yeah, I would never recommend that, I don't think.
Yeah, and it's like, I like switching up my pots.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have that like weird like salt stains on the pot as the soil.
Totally.
So yeah, so that's kind of what we do. We then go to this like fluted corrugate and we wrap it really nicely with all our little tape.
Now, this is just for our viewers so they know. You are not a packer.
No.
You don't typically
I know.
pack, but you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
You really are.
Rachel is cringing over there while she watches me because, yeah, I'm
She's
not.
like, oh, you've got a lot of tape here.
I know.
She got herself all
I'm
prepared.
a big tape person. Yeah, I mean, it's like a science packing it properly and getting used to like your process so that it's quick. So yeah, even still, I'm already wrecking it a bit. So we fold it at the top. We would put our tape through, make sure like it's a nice sleeve.
Okay.
And this really makes it like protect the leaves, so if it were to topple,
Yeah,
it's
of
still
course.
kind of got this kind of outer layer.
Yeah.
In the winter, we would use a insulated pouch like this, so I would
that's
slide
so nice.
this.
That was my next question. I was thinking,
Yeah.
because if it's going to be put on a truck and it's on the truck for a couple of hours, what's to make sure that the leaves don't get damaged within such a short period of time?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So we make these pouches, we put a heat pack in, put a heat pack somewhere, it sticks to the side, it just keeps the internal temperature at a certain
that's amazing.
range that we're comfortable with.
Okay.
Because like we ship to Calgary, we ship like Western Canada. It's
That's
cold.
amazing.
So yeah, we're really careful with our heat packs and just making sure we're having your plants arrive alive as fast as possible.
There would be nothing worse.
Yeah. We wrap it up with like this nice tissue after, and then we're gonna put it in the box. Probably won't fit because I'm not an expert packer.
That's okay.
So this goes into here, and then there's another layer that braces it so that you can imagine if it's going through a conveyor belt, it's really protected, but at the same time, it's not like overloaded with packing materials.
Yeah. And it's all recyclable.
All recyclable, and other than, I don't think this is recyclable, but
Right.
Yeah, just
That's amazing.
don't want to leave someone with like tons of garbage.
Yeah.
And then just to finish it off, we have the care card. So this goes through like the origin, how to water it, what type of water or sunlight it needs, tips.
Okay.
And then if you're gifting, we have all these customized cards, so we can say like, Happy New Home, Emily.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, coming up, we are going to be going into a greenhouse, and it's going to be spectacular because we just got a delivery in, so we're going to be checking out some of the brand new plants. You can decide what you want to send and who you want to send it to at the end of the show. That's how easy it's going to be for us today. Lots more coming up on Morning Live. This is where the magic happens. We have made it to the Foli Greenhouse. Emily and I are just talking about some of the different plants that you have here. They're gorgeous, they're lush. I feel like the sun has come out just for you today.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, take me through some of the different varieties we have.
Yes. So in front of us, this is the snake. Very common, easy to care for plant.
You say that, except I've actually killed one of these.
Yeah, they're basically a cactus. Like they want to be left alone.
I overwatered it.
Yeah, it doesn't want
sure.
any water. And it likes to be brought out like in the summer. I bring mine right out onto my patio because it can have full sun. And then it really, really grows. Like you'll see major growth when it's in bright full sun.
Wow.
This is our monstera. So these are kind of like pretty popular.
Does it grow really big, these ones?
Yeah, and they're like rainforest crawlers, so they have these aerial roots like this, and they kind of reach out and they grow like wide as much as they grow up. So they're kind of like you need a big space for something like that.
Yeah.
This is our Diefenbachia.
I love this.
I love this one. It's also called dumb cane. It can grow up to like 6 feet tall. This one's amazing because like it sheds its leaves, like lower leaf will turn yellow and you can remove it, and that's basically all the plant care that is required. Like it's such an easy plant.
And a little bit of water.
A little bit of water. It basically tells you when it's thirsty, it'll kind of like droop.
Oh yeah.
So does monstera, so it's nice because it can give you that signal.
Okay. So the tropical plant delivery comes in, drops off all the plants, and then you've got, your plant worker elves that come in, and they come in these massive boxes.
Yeah.
And then it's for you guys to unpack them all.
You got it. Yeah. So this is a ponytail palm. So this is how they come in. We take them out of
know.
I know.
So cute.
Like so much personality.
I love this plant.
So this is a pet-friendly option. It's actually difficult to get these in Canada, but we love them. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much.
We have big ones over there. The ones back there are large.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think I like the mini version better.
Yeah, tabletop. So yeah, they all come in boxes or in sleeves like they were here.
Yeah.
We remove them, we let them kind of settle, and then we kind of go from there on taking care of them.
Taking them to the other package facility, you pack them up, and then they move out from there.
Yeah.
Oh, these ones look massive.
Yes, these are amazing. So this is a fiddly fig. Trickier in plant care world than the snake.
Why?
I think people just want to put them in a spot that's not bright. They're like, that corner of my den, let's put a fig there.
Let's put it in the basement.
Yeah, and I'm like, it wants to be by sun. Like it needs to be in a bright, sunny space. So it's great to get a mature plant like this because it has kind of that maturity to lean on if it's, adjusting in your space. But basically, fiddly figs need bright sunshine.
I feel like it comes with their name. They're fiddly.
They're fiddly.
Fiddly.
Fiddlies.
These, okay, we were just talking about these. These are the same ones, right?
Yeah, so this is like a mature ZZ. It's a large, you'll see the new growth like shooting up in this kind of like coiled spot. Really happy, easy plant. Like just so nice and lush.
Yeah, I love the different colors of green from the back to the leaves of the front of the leaves and the new growth that's coming in as well. It gives you lots of dynamic.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Come the spring, it's just popping off.
Is that the same as what we just saw there?
Yes. So
okay,
these are snakes.
Mine kind of look like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is actually, this snake's probably thirsty. Like when it coils in like that and is a little floppy, it's thirsty.
Okay.
These plants came in and they were just too tall for us to ship.
Right.
So we've been repotting them slowly. And
wow, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming up, we're going to be talking about what I really need and what a lot of viewers probably need is how to take care of our house plants. So Emily's going to give us all the tips and tricks so all of our plants look this good, right?
Right.
Right. That easy. All about plant care. This is what I need, and I know probably what you need as well. Apparently, Luke has about 40 plants in his living room, so I think we're going to get some good stuff here.
Yeah.
Lots of different information on lots of different types of plants. A couple of these are common, others not so much.
Yes.
What do we need to do to take care of them?
Yeah, so I was just going to walk you through some like common things to look for when you're caring for plants.
Okay.
This is a ponytail palm. We were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, it's
definitely represents the Emily personalities.
It is our personalities.
If this plant starts to dry, like on its tips, just take your spruiters and just like cut it on an angle, and you would be none the wiser. This is a stalk plant. Like it's got a trunk. It holds this moisture in it. So it's just kind of a sign of humidity when the tip's brown. Obviously it likes a really humid area, so when we don't have that, just trim off some browning tips and kind of move on.
Right, because it's a palm.
Yes.
So it is a very tropical plant.
Likes like the bathroom. Like a bathroom would be great, like bright sun in a bathroom where it's humid.
Okay.
This is a pothos, very common plant.
Yeah, I've got one of those.
This one's looking a little janky. So basically we like go in.
It's looking a little what?
Janky?
What's janky?
I don't know, we say like janky malanky all the time. We made it up.
I love it.
I don't know. Pull off the dead stuff. This, if people always wonder what this is slow release fertilizer. These like little balls, or it's perlite, so it's not, it's in there for a reason, but after a while it's kind of
I have more of a personal question about this, but I'm sure it's happened to some of our viewers, is that when these plants are dying and you're not taking very good care of them, and then you only have like one little like sprout left.
Yep, totally fine.
How do you like fix it? How do you make it full again?
Yeah, so you would propagate it. So
you'd have to cut it, root it.
So after this, like let's kind of pull everything off, and if you're saying, okay, we only have one little sprout, what you'd want to do is you want to cut it so that, see this little thing sticking out? This is a node.
Yep.
You'd want to cut it here. You want to put this little node in water, and then a root would start to grow out of here. Once it's like 2 to 3 inches, you're going to like move around the soil, jam it in, and in no time you'll have more.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's super easy to propagate. Just try it, honestly. It's kind of fun to watch as well.
It's like a little science experiment for my kids.
Yeah,
hey
kids
guys,
love
we're gonna
it.
propagate today.
Totally. And like when your plants get kind of like leggy and long, you can just trim them up. Like it's like hair. Like your hair seems more full when you have a trim, and so does your plant. So look to do that.
Love it.
This is a calathea. Really cool, like the pink stripes.
Yeah.
Pet friendly. It's really dry. So what I'm showing here is when you're wanting to do plant care and you lift up your plant and it's heavy, like this one's heavy. You can tell I'm like, whew, that one's been watered.
Yeah.
This one is like, whoa, it's so light. So that's a good indicator that it needs some water. And obviously like it's looking a little sad. So you're gonna water it, it's gonna perk right up, and then you're just gonna go through, and like I'm pretty rough with, not rough, but like your plant can handle some handling.
Yeah.
Like pull off all the dry bits, and like by the end of the day it would be back up and perky.
Okay, and then the spider plant.
Snake plant, yeah. So
Or
this
snake
one
plant,
I was just gonna show, like when your snake plant becomes kind of floppy, it's probably because it needs to be repotted. And like let's just look at the roots. So really easy to see that this guy doesn't have a lot of space for more roots, and he's probably using water really quickly. So I would definitely think a good candidate for repotting. If you're gonna repot a snake, a good tip, put soil in the base of the new plant, and then just put the plant on top.
Just like that.
Kind of like tricks it. I think it still thinks it's in its old house, and then it's like, I don't know, easier. And then lastly, so fiddle leaf, kind of a trickier plant. Just go through your fiddle and like touch it, like kind of take all this like casing off, have a good look at it. And if, let's say I really didn't like the edge of this plant, like this leaf, because it was brown, I honestly just cut it off.
Really?
And I shape it, because like I don't want to lose that
It really is like
whole
cutting
leaf.
hair.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I don't want to lose the whole leaf because it's still full, but if I had a brown mark on it, just because changes in humidity in our climate, indoor, outdoor,
It'll
makes
happen.
sense.
Yeah.
Trim it off and it's still, you know, nice and full. And then just like wiping down your plants. Like,
Because they get dusty.
I often like walk by and I'm
They get dusty.
just touch them. And it's a good way to look at both like the underside, the top side. You'll see where your plant's at. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
You'll probably will really like
Well,
it.
it's good for your mental health.
It is,
Plants
yeah.
are so good for your mental health.
Yeah, it's like a cool hobby. So
It's amazing. All right, well, thanks, Emily. We've had such a good time here today. And if you want to order some plants, get them delivered to friends, family, corporate orders, they do it all here at Foli.ca is where you can go to order. They'll package it up and send it to whoever you choose in the near future.